Welcome to another edition of Northern Heat. And today our special guest is the one and only Michel Godin.
The one and only.
The one and only Leon's. But what I want to talk about is that Northern Heat's all about talking about turning up the heat in Northern New Brunswick. And I think that your family has turned up the heat for a number of years. And you've evolved. You've done a bunch of things. So your father and mother started a business years ago. So let's talk about the beginnings here and how it's evolved to where you are today.
Well, Baba was a young lad in 1971 when Mom and Dad...
A couple of years back.
Yeah, Roger and Edwina opened up the business called House of Fixtures. So we went through a lot of years just selling lighting fixtures, and we thought we had a niche about selling furniture, so we decided to evolve into the House of Fixtures and Furniture. So we did that in a couple of years. So we joined also afterwards the buying group called Home Furniture, which is a division of Home Hardware. So we stayed with under that banner for 10 years, and then we recently signed with Leon's.
Well, you said recently. We were chatting about this one.
10 years ago. I know, time flies so much. So it's already 10 years that we signed with Leon's.
You know, when you mentioned 10 years, I went, no, it can't be. But it has been 10 years.
10 years.
But prior to House of Fixtures, though, you're talking about this in 71. But your father had Godin Electric
and still
prior
does.
to that. And still does.
Still does.
So when did he start that?
The same time.
Oh,
because in 1971, we had House of Fixtures on the upper level, and Godin Electric was downstairs in the basement.
Okay.
So they started at the exact same
everything at the same time. Yeah. So let's think about this in another light, too. This is a family-owned business.
Correct.
So between Godin Electric and here at Leon's, and your three brothers.
Myself, Paul, and Jacques.
Yeah. And now you've, as you told me a while ago, you're into the third generation.
Correct.
So your daughter's here, your son.
It's funny when we look back from 1971. I was so young. Evolving to the business was their assets. So basically, every time we had lunch together, supper, it turned out to be a meeting as far as business wise. So Dad is still involved in the business. Myself, Paul, and Jacques, and we got the third generation coming up. My daughter, Alexandre, my nephew, and Veronique, my niece.
And you know, we talked about that too. I know when my son joined Thermalwood Canada, there's a sense of I don't know if it's pride or family or what, but you feel good because now you've got somebody in your family. You're creating,
and it makes everybody proud, especially my parents, knowing that we brought the business level to where we wanted to be, and seeing the third generation being involved in the business. When they saw the third generation coming up and stepping up to the plate and working for us, for them it's a gratitude.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and now you've got grandchildren, so that you'll have that opportunity to see that part of gratitude in another 20 years.
Who knows? Yeah.
But again, you know, who knows, right? And what that shows is that family-run business, because family-run business, when I travel a lot all over the world, and you know, to tell you that that's the way of the world today, it's not really. You know, it's big corporations that buy big corporations that are buying other ones.
Often.
You don't see that too often.
Especially on the Godin's Electric side, I have my son Ryan that's working with my brother Jacques as well.
Yeah.
So it's fun having the family business go up to another level. So
plus you get to keep your kids here.
Exactly. That's a big bonus.
Yeah, and it's a major bonus. I'm fortunate. My son's here, my daughter's here, my grandchildren are here, and I talk to so many people that say they wish that their kids could be here. Mm-hmm. And I guess that you know, tying this into why we do this, and you asked me that question before, it's really to demonstrate that this kind of family-run business, keeping your kids in the area, that there are opportunities.
Yeah.
And your kids don't mind still staying here?
No, they love it in a sense, but I'm going to go back, Bob, a couple of years back. I used to work for my mom and dad, and I moved away. I took my hotel management course.
Oh, yeah.
And I left for 10 years.
Okay.
I worked at the Banff Springs Hotel in Banff with CP Hotels and got transferred to Halifax. And my brother Paul came to pick me up in Halifax. Is that we want you to run the business. So here I am, 22 years later. So time flies.
There we go.
Yeah.
So he kidnapped you from Halifax and brought you home
from the hotel and back to the furniture business.
Well, I'm glad he did kidnap you, and I'm glad that the family's all together again, and what you've been able to do and what you've been able to demonstrate, and showing that you are turning on the heat in Northern New Brunswick. I appreciate the fact that you're doing this for the community.
Bob.
You have, you were saying that you've got about 35 employees that work here.
Correct.
So that's growing. So you
starting
create
for
employment.
4 employees till 35.
4 to 35.
So
you're creating employment. You've got all kinds of great products to sell here, and a great opportunity to be able to allow people to come in and see what you're doing. And thank you again for being able to do that. And so there we are with another edition of Northern Heat. And if you think that you like and you want to support what this family is doing, the good hands that are doing, share the video and like it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Bob.
All right.